Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Sophisticated Social Media Marketing. My name is Chelsea Bacoy, Senior Product Marketing Manager for Zoomerang Online Surveys and Polls. Today we've come together with Lori Thomas to show you how to move beyond the basics to fully take advantage of the power social media marketing can have on driving your business. Be sure to ask your questions through the Q&A panel. If we don't get to, will be answered in a follow-up Zoomerang blog post. And for Twitter followers out there, you can keep up with the buzz about today's presentation using hashtag social marketing shown at the bottom of the slides. Now, let's hear a bit more about our speaker, Lori Thomas. We at Zoomerang are so excited to partner with Lori Thomas, aka the Marketing Therapist, on today's webinar. Lori is a marketing powerhouse with a wealth of information. She's a strategist, educator, writer, web marketing expert, and speaker. And that is in addition to her role as CEO of Web Marketing Therapy, a boutique web marketing agency and training company that diagnoses, prescribes, and guides healthy marketing solutions. And I'll hand it over to Lori. Welcome, Lori.
Thanks, Chelsea, and hello, everyone. Congratulations on taking time to invest in your own social media success. There is most likely every single one of you listening to today's webinar are engaged in social media of some way, shape, or form, whether you're watching other people or you're on Facebook or you're following blogs. The name of the game is not necessarily the tools themselves, but how you use the tools strategically to brand, to build, and to boost business. And that's what sophisticated social media marketing is all about. So what we're going to start with is looking at how do we market through social media with purpose. And whether that's your blog, your Twitter, your Facebook, your YouTube, any is social centric, the first step you want to take, whether you're new to this or you're looking to optimize and turn up the dial and take your social media marketing to the next level, getting clear on your why. Yes, your why. Why are you in business? Whether you're a for-profit, nonprofit, big business, small business, there's a reason that your organization is there in existence. There's a reason why we go to work every day. And we want to get clear on what we're doing. And this why becomes the theme and a very common vein that gets woven through all of our social media messaging. Take a look at Apple, for example. They're very clear on their why. Yes, Apple sells computers and they sell iPhones and iPads. That's their what. How to do it? You know, they do it through a lot of different market channels and through different stores. But why does Apple do what they do? Technically, they do the same thing as what other companies do. There are other computers on the market and things like that. There are other MP3 players out there. But Apple's why is because they want to create a really great user experience and want to have a really seamless design experience. And they're clear on that why. And that why is why people buy from them. So I encourage you to think about that and get clear on your why. And that why is what's going to help dictate, gosh, what do I write about? How do I be tweeting? How can I better serve my customers? Once you have that, the foundation of purposeful marketing can really begin. Here's an example of blogging on purpose. Since I'm collaborating with Zoomerang Online Surveys and Polls for this webinar, I thought, gosh, I'll pick on Zoomerang a little bit. So here's Zoomerang's website, and I've drilled down into the individual blog page. Their blog theme is advice and ideas for creating great online surveys. The theme is very on purpose. It's a very clear made it to someone who hits the blog of what kind of content they can expect to get when they hit here. So the purpose is actually tipped out and so visibly clear. Also, Zoomerang uses their blog as their social media nucleus. What I mean by this is not just the blog. It's syncing in channels like follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and it's linking and syncing in there, which is creating a really good integrated approach to social media. So I wanted to point that out as well. And also taking a look at Twitter on purpose. Twitter, as you know, is microblogging. It's kind of takes the larger content and creates these little powerful posts. But why do people follow you on Twitter? Well, that's a really good question. And you can make your social media messaging purposeful on Twitter simply by optimizing your profile. What I did is I took 3 different profiles. I took Whole Foods, large brand, Sonos, an amazing speaker company based out of Santa Barbara, California, and took me, and this is my individual Twitter account, so you can look at it whether you're a corporation, big business, small business, or an individual. What we have here is a clear purpose. Whole Foods says fresh organic tweets from Whole Foods headquarters in Austin, Texas, ready to answer your questions Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You understand the purpose of why you might want to follow Whole Foods Twitter. Sonos, official Twitter account of Sonos Inc. Thomas M. Fides and Jasmine F. are here to provide tips and a variety of music-related happiness. There's even a little bit of personality woven in here. And again, Sonos is doing customer service. That's their purpose. Also, they're talking about really the true love, the why. Why does Sonos do what they do? Because they love music, and the audience loves music. And what they happens to be an incredible speaker system that plays music in all the rooms of your house. But why they do what they do is really on purpose and communicated here in their Twitter bio. And it explains who I am, the marketing therapist, writer, educator, speaker, and CEO of Web Marketing Therapy, expert advisory to diagnose, prescribe, and guide healthy web marketing. So the purpose is clear, and that theme can get reiterated on blogs, Twitter, you name it. Here's Facebook on purpose. Back to Whole Foods. Whole Foods has leveraged their info page, and one thing that's important to that is how I optimize what I've already built. I'm willing to bet any of you who have Twitter profiles, Facebook pages, blogs, have optimization that can be done first. And sophisticated social media marketing isn't always about adding on new features. It's about really strategically using what you currently have. So look at Facebook for Whole Foods. They have a description, their company overview. They even talk in an organic way. We know it's always been a little bit out of the ordinary, blah, 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 in their company overview. The description for the Facebook page also ties in to play nice and fair and staying on topic, no offensive language. They've actually they created guidelines on their Facebook page, take some real administrative purpose clear. So how you use this can be really helpful, supportive, and again, focusing on that purpose. Sophisticated social media marketing tip. We're doing all this stuff to serve and support, to sell, not the other way around. If you get on, let's say you're Whole Foods, and you're like, hey, super sale in aisle 15, or hey, blah, blah, blah on sale, hey, buy this, hey, buy that, all of a sudden the audience is like, this feels icky and slimy. I don't want to play with your brand anymore. What Whole Foods does instead is their purpose, and why they do what they do is they really want to provide fresh, healthy product services to their customers. And what they do is they talk a lot about, things kind of bigger than buying groceries. So they look at their social media presence as a way to serve and support, and that indirectly helps create relationships, and it's relationships that make sales, not a bunch of loud, screaming marketing messages. So just remember that tip. And next step, so we've gotten clear on purpose, we need to look at social media strategy. What you're going to see here is a graph that was created by my agency, by Web Marketing Therapy. We have a lot of organizations put together social media marketing strategy with a number of things. First, we look at the business why, which was the purpose that you're all going to spend some time optimizing to get your sophisticated social media hats on. And what we also look at is the first thing is the brand. Who are you? What do you do? Whom do you serve? Like, what's important to convey from a brand perspective? And then what we start to do from a strategy and planning perspective is looking at who are the people we're trying to serve? Who are the people who are going to manage social media? How to measure success? Who's in charge of measuring things? What are we looking at? Are we looking at Twitter followers, Facebook followers, traffic from these platforms, conversions from these platforms? Also, we look at policies. Are there certain administrative guidelines? Like with Whole Foods, they had some user guidelines for Facebook. Maybe some things that are internal to your organization, like let's say you're in an industry that has a lot of compliance issues that you need to adhere to. And when you start to look at these, you develop your strategy. And your strategy is how are we going to use social media to brand, to build, to boost business. And how you bring all of this together is through the last piece of this infographic here, and it's all about content. We've always said that content is king, and content empowers people, it enlightens people, it educates people, and it entertains them, let's face it, we're not on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and blogs because it's hard and tedious. We're on it because it's easy and fun. And the more we can have that fun, authentic voice as a brand through content, the better. And we're engaging. And when we're employing these 5 E's, we're really sealing the marketing deal. And so think about things like that as you're putting together your social media sophisticated optimizations. As we continue to look at relevant content, remember that this is the foundation of any solid presence in the social sphere, and that ties into purpose. What kind of content am I going to write? My question to you is, what's your why? What's your purpose? And always focus on your target market. Are you to serve, let's say, your university, students, alumni, donors, prospective students, and what's valuable to them, and how you bring folks together in that community or the various communities. And also, we wanted to reiterate that you can't be everything to everyone. You know, in my particular business, Web Marketing Therapy caters to small business, medium-sized business. That's our market. You know, we do corporate trainings for large organizations, but really when we focus on our main target market, Web Marketing Therapy is about taking the overwhelm out of this stuff, and we have really focused our market on being laser channeled to that. Google, Amazon, they're everything to everyone, but most of us listening are not them. So always stay focused. It's all about your ideal customer. You want to spend time and energy serving people that you're really best suited to serve. That's win-win for everybody. Compelling content is all about relationship, hence my little mouse graphic here. Compelling content can not only increase your website traffic when you're using phrases that happen to be phrases you want to be searched and found on, the search engines may start increasing visibility on your various social media channels just because you're out there using that language. Kind of think of it as pull marketing, and you're attracting and retaining a very dedicated following. And what's needed, you know, it's a good source of raw material to continually draw upon. And how do you get that? Well, it's always remembering that there are tools there like online surveys, like analytics, and also through the theme of what's going to help and serve my people. And when you're creating all of this content, another sophisticated social media marketing tip is just remembering that creating content is an invest, not a spend. It's an investment. And we're, yes, spending some time and yes, spending some creativity, but we remember that this stuff, like if content's on a blog, if you have photos on Flickr or videos on YouTube, these things that are invested and you can pull from them from any time from here to here on out. It's like compounding interest. Think that way. You start a blog, and in 5 years, if you're strategically contributing to that blog, before you know it, you have hundreds or thousands of pages worth of content. And if wondering how do I get relevant content, you're not sure where to start, like I said a second ago, use surveys and polls. Embed these on your website and blog. Send polls through Facebook and Twitter. Facebook has a poll now that you can access. Twitter, you can link to a Zoomerang survey. Here's an example that was created by Zoomerang. What would you like us to add to the blog? Let's say you're blogging about health advice, and maybe you're not doing specific advice for moms or dads or seniors. If you want to know what your customers want, ask them. And that's the power of surveying, and that's the power of analytics and get clear on what people are looking for. Also, there's other channels. You can look at your web statistics and see what people are searching on. Marketing is all about listening and learning. And by listening and learning, we get to understanding. And how do we get to understanding on a channel where we can't actually physically see our prospective customers all the time? Tools, technology is the answer. There are some technologies that we recommend. Social Mentions is one of them. It's a way to get social media alerts relative to your industry, your brand. There's Twitter search. You can go to search.twitter.com and make sure that you're following any buzz about your brand, your competition, maybe relevant topics in your industry. And one of my favorite tools that's free and easy to use is Google Alerts. You go to google.com/alerts, and voila, you are able to type in anything you want to have fed to your email inbox, either as it happens, daily, weekly. It could be your company name, it could be your CEO's name. that's relevant to your industry. Let's say you're trying to produce a content that's about health information. You may say women's health. You may say men's health. When you're doing these alerts, put your tips and quotes that you're looking to have fed to you. Otherwise, you're going to get kind of anything that sort of matches that. So if there are specific phrases like men's health, women's health, on survey, news, put that stuff in quotes when you do the Google alerts. You'll be amazed at how much content ends up in your door that you can leverage to either retweet, post on your blog, share, learn from. Anticipate. Join the conversation. Maybe before you get out there and do a lot, you might want to follow what other people are doing. And ultimately, content is what is the piece of the puzzle. What is about user-generated content. And that can also be from your community. Ask people to participate. Ask people to join the conversation. And you are getting people to participate. Remember that be helpful to others. You want to acknowledge what people are posting. Be open to criticism. All feedback can be good feedback. And always remember to say thank you. That is so important. At the end of the day, marketing and customer service really go hand in hand. And if people contributing to your Facebook page or retweeting something you've said or sharing your YouTube video, say thank you. The name of the game in social media is I like you. And if people are like, you like me, like you, and you'll be amazed at the collaborations that can happen online. Sophisticated social media marketing tips. Social media has enhanced customer relationships faster, more transparent, and authentic. It's no longer the days of big brands screaming out into, the lens and hoping that people hear about them. Now we have people actually become our own evangelists. We are able to pull people in through web marketing and through social media marketing. People talk about our services in a way that has really changed the landscape, and it's made the elitism that formerly used to be part of marketing no more. And it's really created an open marketplace that's opportunistic for all of us. Social media for credibility, visibility, and sellability. Back to Twitter, I took a screen capture of the Whole Foods page because what I wanted to show was how Whole Foods did their design. They have a very specific logo as their Twitter icon, but if you look down the left-hand side, it says this is the primary Whole Foods market account tweeting from our global headquarters in Austin, Texas. The bit.ly URL, which is a shortened URL, and to suggest a new store location, go here. That's purposeful, and it's really good for their sellability. If a bunch of people are suggesting a store somewhere, that's great feedback. But what it also does through mindful design is it really boosts the credibility. You just have this warm experience when you're looking at the Whole Foods page with the leaves and the brand and the easy to read text. It can also help, with your visibility. Just being on social media alone can boost that. And the sellability. The more people know you and like you and trust you, the more they will buy from you. Another example of social media for credibility, this Calla Gold. She's a personal jeweler, and her tagline is, she's a jeweler without walls. And she really is. She has no offices. She goes to her customers and does custom jewelry design. She has videos shot of her in New York speaking at an expo, and she repurposed those videos for YouTube to leverage that content, relevant content. And what she did is down the side, on the left-hand side, she actually had our agency build and design a little bit of something to make sure that her brand was intact, not only from her website, but also on her YouTube channel. And this was a little bit of effort that made a big, big bit of difference. Example for credibility and visibility, I did a Google search for Michael Rodsbrook. He is the nation's leading expert in tax problems. Believe it or not, 1 in 6 Americans have a problem. And so what Michael does is he's out there blogging, he's tweeting, he has videos on YouTube. And what you'll see here is in a search for his name, and because in his industry, it's really important for people to do their homework before they hire a tax resolution company. He encourages people actually on YouTube, and he says, do your homework. My name, Google my competition's name, check out the Better Business Bureau ratings before you make a decision. And he walks the talk. And if you Google his name, his site comes up, his LinkedIn profile comes up, his Facebook page comes up. Another blogger who blogs about him comes up, his Twitter comes up, and YouTube comes up. To call this total web domination. It's for his visibility, but it's really good for his credibility because, again, it builds the know, like, and trust factor. So social media can multitask for you in way more ways than you'd ever thought of. The number one way people still search for products, services, and information is search engines. So being on social media can help you with that as well. This is a blog that is credible, visible, and sellable. This is the U.S. Capital Partners blog. They are a direct lending and advisory company, and their blog is clearly designed as a blog for credibility, but as a purposeful theme, your insider download on small business lending. Credible design ties into the brand. You have a picture, a little thumbnail of Jeffrey Sweeney, the CEO, and that's his Twitter, with it's built into the blog. You can visit the website. All of stuff is not only helping their credibility because he's out there authoring content, and if you want to be an authority, you have to author content. Note the word author and the word authority. It's been a big search engine tool for them and really helps, build their sales factors as people are looking for the right firm to put together, alternative financing. Sophisticated social media marketing tip. Optimize all your social media with design, messaging, link, and syncing. Bring it all together, making it optimized, but also making it integrated. To do this with a little reminder that I call link, sync, recycle, and think. Link, sync, recycle, and think. This is the Tax Resolution University blog. This is Michael Rosbrook's blog, who we looked at as an example earlier. His blog is designed in a way that the theme is clear, and it also links out to Facebook, to Twitter, to YouTube, to LinkedIn, to automated feeds through all of these channels that you can help in your content. So if you're blogging, it's automatically going to Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn. What you'll also see is on the blog, you'll see the widgets for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. The little YouTube video is what we call a thumbnail that helps people see visually, oh, I want to watch that video. That looks interesting. And all of this is getting integrated. And when I talk about recycling, that simply means repurposing content. Let's say release one out. Well, that press release could become a blog post, and the blog post may say, we're so excited that blah, blah, blah happened. Here's the news, blah, blah, blah. You can click here to read the full press release. Find ways in your marketing to tell them what you told them, and then tell them one more time. Link, sync, recycle. And when you're in doubt for sophisticated social media marketing, think. Go back to why, go back to the heart of marketing, and get creative. Another sophisticated social media marketing tip, social media is more than Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. It is article marketing. It's online press releases. It's, coming up with photos, with a creative video production that can live on other sites other than YouTube, like Vimeo. So when you're thinking about social media, really think of it as a way to store content and a way to build your relationships. I'm more than happy to field the floor for some questions and answers, and we'll be answering more on the Zoomerang blog. Thank you very much for attending.
Great, thanks, Lori. We had a few questions, and the general theme to be around this same topic. My business targets a variety of audiences. Should we only have one Twitter, Facebook, and blog for our business, or one for each of our audiences?
A good question, and the answer is strategy. I find that the biggest decision maker plays into management time. There are some organizations that have time to manage several blogs and several Facebook pages, and some organizations that may only have one person doing all of the above, and it may be wise, instead of having multiple accounts, just to maybe creatively label things, whether it's through blog categories, through having certain labels, things tagged on Facebook for a certain audience. Another thing to think about too is if there's, of all the different audiences, if maybe there's one that bigger piece of the business puzzle, maybe they get their own Facebook page or blog or something first, and that can be tested to see how well that works. But be mindful of management resources. That ties into the strategic graph that I put together. Look at what people can do to help it out. what's really going to support that, and then make your execution decision from there.
There were also a couple questions surrounding how many times or how frequently should you post on Facebook and Twitter, either day or per week?
Is to post when you have something valuable to say. You have some industry experts, and I think that by human nature, people want to hear, you should post one day. The answer is it really depends. And as long as the content is valuable to people, then it's worthwhile. The only thing you want to be really careful of is not over posting so that people are like, this is information overload, it's too much. Prioritize what's important to say. And if you have something to say every day, great. And if you don't talk about it, your audience will still be there waiting for that. So that's my advice.
Here's a good one. I'm getting started in social media. How do I find companies in my industry who accept social media so I can use them as an example to follow?
There is a great thing out there called Google.com. But I find the best way to find these, especially, and I don't know what industry you're in, but say you're in the healthcare industry, what you could search for is social media case studies, healthcare, social media case studies, banking, and you'll be amazed how many case studies are out there, or you may stumble across, certain pages. You can also go into things like LinkedIn. You can search for certain industries, find companies, and then go to their websites and see if they have a blog or a Facebook page, and start there. And you'll be surprised how many people creatively use these things. I mean, I love using tax resolution services and U.S. Capital as examples because they're in industries like tax resolution and alternative financing that necessarily think of for social media, but these guys do it with heart. It's all about customer service and being out there sharing thought leadership, and they're great examples. So go out to Google, see what's out there, and if you're looking for specific examples, you can always message me through any of my social media contacts, and I can help you personally.
Great. That actually ties into one of the other questions. Why do you share all the specific places to contact you versus one single place?
It's all about customer service. I've been in the workforce since I was 15 years old, and I believe in service, and it's a matter of choices. I have folks that are big emailers. I have some people that would much rather connect with me through the blog or through LinkedIn or something like that. I noticed my LinkedIn is not on here, but it's actually pretty funny. This is the fourth Zoomerang where we've collaborated on, and most people reach out to me via LinkedIn, which is funny because it's not even on there. But I do that because it gives people choices, and it's really about what works best for them, not what works best for me necessarily. I'm in it to serve you guys, not the other way around.
I did want to contact you through LinkedIn. How would they do that?
LinkedIn.com, and you can search for Lori Thomas, or you can just Google my name. The only warning is there's a murderer with the same spelling of my name, so that's not me. But I'm very Googleable and very accessible.
Great. Thanks, Lori. And on that note, it looks like we are out of time for today. But thank you so much, Lori, for sharing your expertise, and thank you to all of the attendees for joining us today. Until next time, thanks again, and have a great day.